Welcome everyone to another episode of the Definitive Crusade. I am your host, joining the machine, Hughes, and joining me this week from across the pond, we have, as if by magic, so we have Freya as always, Freya, and Josh makes a welcome return from the land of once not when, known as overtime. There you go.
Yep. Adulting at its best.
Yeah. Not going to do the fun stuff, just going to do the work stuff. All right.
Adulting sucks.
Right.
Yeah. Got to pay for the books somehow, guys. Pay for the books. All right. So this week, before we get started, I just want to point out a little something. I don't know if anybody did the math, but a comment Freya made in a chat offline was that all the books this week are Batman related. So I did a little counting. I got out the old fingers and toes, and lo and behold, there were 18 books released this week. 10 are deep Batman related in some form or another. I don't know about you guys, but is it like getting to the point where we should be starting, it's Detective Comics in name as well as publishing rights? Did DC have anything other than Batman to wet our whistles with?
Apparently not. I mean, I love Batman, but it's just excessive at this point because, like I said last time, we were talking about what's the book? The one with the zombies, the undead one. I was why is Red Hood here? He doesn't need to be here. But they have to insert a Bat family member somehow. Yeah. So it's just it doesn't make sense at all.
So from another point of view, Josh, do you think that you can get bat fatigue or fatigue, as we should start calling it?
I mean, we have. I mean, on this show, we're like, oh god, another Bat book, another Batman. Blah. There's definitely such a thing as bat fatigue, fatigue, however you want to look at it. Yeah. And I would anticipate that as 2022 approaches, we're going to be seeing more of Batman with the release of the Batman movie and the Flash with Keaton's Batman and Batfleck. So I'm totally expecting to see a lot more as far as the books are concerned. And I mean, we're also getting the Gotham Knights game.
Of course. So we get loads of tie-in books about that as well. So I'm with Freya on this. I mean, I love Batman. I love the whole idea. Batman's the guy that got me into comics to start with. But it comes a point. There comes a point when I think the diversification of the DC line, when you've got like books for young readers, you've got books for mature readers, you've got the Black Label books, then you've got the regular superhero stuff books. There comes a point where you've got to turn around and say, can my wallet afford all these books? I know I'm a no on that. I'm going to have to pass on some of the books that come out. What about you guys? Bear in mind we get them for free because we review them.
Yeah, I'm. To be perfectly honest, most of these books I wouldn't even buy, because they're not. I mean, I love Batman, but some of them are just not. They're just not good books. They just slap Batman on it and be like, buy it, like the mindless consumer we think you are. But if it's a crap book, I'm not buying it, no matter who's in it.
That's a great shout. Great shout. I remember when David Finch was on the Batman book. Was it The Dark Knight? Part of the just before Flashpoint or just after Flashpoint? And I think I bought issue 1. Flipped through it. I was like, oh my god, this reads terrible. Oh my god, the art is awful. And I never went back to it. Never went back. And I'm thinking to myself, there's just so much stuff out there. And the fact is, books are more expensive than ever. a standard comic now. What's $4.99, $5.99?
Yeah.
I mean, look at Urban
Yeah.
Legends, which we're going to talk about in a minute.
Ugh.
Yeah, you get a shed load of pages, but surely, as Freya will probably attest to, it's got to be quality, not quantity, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's you can keep shoveling crap at me, but I'm still not gonna eat it, you know.
And on that note,
Wow.
wow. All right. Ironically, our first book up is Batman related. To be fair, it was going to be hard. It's like falling off a boat at sea and trying not to hit water. You know, it's gonna be a rough ride. So, because Josh was absent last time around, and nobody was dying, we decided that we would play the TDC new rule that if you miss a show, you get your book picked for you. So I magnanimously picked Jeffrey Wright's Batman, Robin, and Howard. Now, if you don't know what this book's about, you need to check yourselves and go over to OTP. That's outside the palace. Don't do it now. Wait till the end of the show, because there's an interview there with me and Jeffrey. So hear us talk about how great this book is.
You know, he's actually kind of lucky that you picked it for him because I was gonna make him read Amethyst.
Yeah, I'm not that cruel. I'm not that cruel. All right, Josh, this is your book, dude. Take it away.
Yep. So Batman and Robin and Howard. Okay, first things first. This book is geared for younger readers. This is the type of book that if you're wanting to get your kids into comics, into reading in general, this is the type of book that you sit down with them and you read it with them together. So the story, as a summary, if you will, is around Damien. Damien's starting at a new school, and he meets Howard. And it's really just the story of Damien and Howard and their friendship. That being said, well, there's some rocky points within the friendship, if you will, and I blame Damien for that because Damien's an asshole.
Hey, I love Damien.
I like Damien too. Don't get me wrong, but in this book, Damien's an ass.
Well, that's why we love him because he always is.
It's true. You know, the artwork definitely fits the theme of really geared towards your younger readers. To be honest, it wasn't that bad of a read. It's a hell of a lot better than the other book that we'll have to talk about later.
Yeah, see, Johnny, this is why you should let me pick the, torture books.
All right, okay,
I'm really good at it.
What do you mean? You made us all read that bloody Black Manta book. I'm not
exactly.
I'm not giving you two shots at this. How it?
Yeah,
you almost sunk the ship with that one.
But no, to be honest, like if you go into this book with the understanding of the target market, the target demographic of the book, it really isn't that bad of a read. It is one that, as I said earlier, is if you're sitting down with your kids, you want them to practice reading. You want them to be able to improve their reading skills. This is a great book for that.
Right. Let me ask you a question then. Would you give this book to Lucas?
Absolutely.
Because Lucas likes his comic books, doesn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. This would be the type of book that he and I would sit down and read, and I would have him read it out loud, fully well knowing that it's going to keep his attention, because it is a comic book, graphic novel type thing. But it fits the genre, that the type of books that he would read. It has that wimpy kid diary type feel.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Captain Underpants style.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Did you look at this book, Freya, as well?
No, but I actually might take a look at it since Josh said, it looks kind of like kids. I'll glance through it and see if it's something my nephews will like, because I have a nephew who is, I believe he's Lucas's age, actually. So and they love Captain Underpants, so
Yeah.
I might buy it for him if it's good.
And you know what? It is a book that does not have the Joker. It does not have Harley Quinn. So we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. So I'll take a look at it, but because I didn't even look at this thing, but I'm looking at the art. I'm like, yeah, this is definitely something my nephew might like.
Yeah.
So to give Josh his credit, thank you so much, Josh, for checking this book out. I've looked at the book previously because I interviewed the guy, Jeffrey Wright. Now, Jeffrey Wright is a name you might not be familiar with. However, if you go to your local bookstores, go to the kids section, you will see a series of books based on Star Wars. The big one, the first one, is called Vader and Son. And
I remember reading that. Yep.
There's like a 1-page visual gags between the contrast of as if Luke was Vader's son and they were spending father-son time. Now, Jeffrey Wright's the guy who created that. So when I met him and I read through the bio, I was like, oh, it's this. I was blown away. The thing here is there are some gags in there here, definitely. However, they're a little bit spaced out in page count due to the nature of the story. It's not just a 1-page gag anymore. The story has to go with it. There are some nice little bits in there, some nice touches. You want to see the sort of page gags I was talking about. If you flip to the back of the book, you'll see some kind of little sight gags in there about what's going on. So you'll see Clayface playing football, and the football goes through him or stuck in him or something.
Yeah.
So it is very kid friendly. I think it's a great little read, as you say, Josh. Sit down with your kid, have a read of this. It's kind of what we were saying before. Batman is around for everybody, isn't he? He's not just for us or us maturos or more mature than others, it may seem. I see you looking at me, Freya, when I said that. Don't worry.
I am innocent.
Whatever. Yeah. Your avatar was like, even your avatar rolled its eyes. That's how, but I was like, what? Son of a. All right, so then, okay, Freya, your task is, as Matthew isn't here this week, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is you are on Matthew book duty for next time.
Ooh, I have a great idea.
Oh my God. All right. Okay. So Batman, Robin, and Howard, go check it out. If you have kids of a young reading age, if you like Jeffrey Wright stuff on the Star Wars stuff, I'm sure you'll get a kick out of it as well. I think it's only about 100 odd pages, but the pages fly through, so it's not like a
it was a relatively easy and relaxing read, which is a lot better than what I could say for this next book.
So don't forget, guys, check out OTP for the interview with Jeffrey Wright about his book. All right, the link will be underneath this, so go check it out. Audio guy can sort that, otherwise someone else will have to do it. What can I say? All right, okay, back to more heroic traditional books. And Freya is back with a vengeance. We have Black Manta number 3 of 6. My question is, has anybody read issues 1 or 2? I'm thinking not, but
no.
So that might have some impact on this review then, guys. All right, it's written by Chuck Brown, art by Matthew Dow Smith, colors by Marissa Louise, and letters by Clayton. Do I really need to letter yet another book? Cows. There you go. Freya, why do you torture us so? I thought we were mates.
Because it's fun.
Take it away.
All right. So
And burn it.
Yeah, well, this book should be fire, should be lit on fire. I hated this book so much. Sometimes me just throwing a dart at a board and like, yes, that book is not a good idea. So I mean, I kind of got what's going on. Black Manta's trying to get was this called some sort of He's trying to get like a crystal or something, and so he's like, "What? Send me back to ancient, freaking Atlantis, so I can get this crystal." I'm pretty sure it's a crystal. I don't freaking metal or whatever.
I just love that when you started like, well, I know what's going on.
Kind of basically whatever.
No idea. I have no idea really.
It's
No,
a crystal, I think. Something. He's going in. It's like, okay, I'll go get. I don't know why Nubia's here. Like they threw in Themyscira for some freaking reason. Like, why do they care what? Anyway, so yeah, I don't really know exactly what's going on. I just know he's trying to do evil stuff.
As you can see, we put a lot of effort into this book. We are super professional here on the Definitive Crusade.
Well, here's the thing: if their art style, if that's went through, the art was okayed, then me not knowing crap about what's going on should be fine, because this art is so distractingly like. It's like frustratingly bad. It's oh god. I couldn't tell who was who half the time. Well, except for Black Manta, because obviously his suit. But like, I thought, well, maybe he's in, what is it, ancient Atlantis before sinking. I was like, okay, but I don't. Okay. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Also, if he's in, it's just nothing makes sense. Why is Nubia flying on freaking Cthulhu looking creature? And why is she like, nothing makes sense. Why does she freaking care? Is that even Nubia? I don't even think that's Nubia. I don't know. Whoever has fire hands. I can't tell what's going on because the art is just so. Did they fall in the water? I can't tell because the water's green. Who freaking knows what's going on? It's the same shade of green as the monster is too, and the sky is orange and yellow. And I don't know. I'm supposed to know if she's using fire, but I don't know if she's using fire because the freaking sky is orange.
Wow, that escalated quickly.
Why is the water green? Just tell me, please. Tell me, why is the water green? Shouldn't it,
pollution.
At least be a slightly color, unless we're in a swamp and it's all swampy and has a lot of algae floating around making it green. Also, I thought Atlantis was in, they think it was in South America. Why is it in Africa all of a sudden?
Well,
I'm confused.
If that's your only problem with a book about a fictional situation, I have no idea what's going on.
That's not my only problem, but like, I've watched enough Atlantis, like Discovery, whatever shows that they, like, with all of the info, blah, 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 they think it's actually in South America, or it was in South America, if it actually existed. But I don't know. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I don't know. Maybe if I read the other two, I might be more invested in the storyline, but the artwork is so freaking trash. I don't want to read it. This is like artwork that my freaking 12-year-old nephew could do. No, maybe not the monster. Well, now that I'm looking at the monster on page 13 or 12 or whatever the crap. Also, it changed size, so I don't know what that's talking about. What's going on there? 12 or 13, 12? 12. I don't know. But yeah, like the artwork is not. It's so distracting. I couldn't keep up with the plot because I'm like, I can't tell who's who. I can't tell what's going on. Is that a dress or there's like no, it looks like they half finished the artwork because there's no like folds or lines or anything on the dress. It's just the outline of it. Same with the hair. It's just, I haven't like disliked the book's artwork this much in a long time. I just don't even know where to start and how to keep myself coherent because it just pisses me off the whole time. Every single panel pisses me off. It's just, I hate it. And then they're underwater, but all of a sudden everything's orange again. I don't know what's going on. Did they run out of, like, their colored pencils only have certain shades? Like, what the crap is this?
So,
sorry,
on that,
angry.
On that note, a couple of things we can say to that is, hey man, you picked the book, and then the second thing I'd say, hey, well, at least the letters are nice. Right?
Did you even look at the letters there, Freya?
I did, but some of them they're hard to read because the coloration is off because of how freaking vibrant and eye piercing the sky is. You don't want to look at the letters because it feels like your retinas are burning. Like, I am sorry, I
Oh my
can't say
God.
that the letters are good because
Oh,
the
man.
backgrounds are so distracting.
Poor Clayton Cowles. All right, Josh. Do you?
How do I follow up to that?
Just say yeah, she's right, or no, she's not. And just,
Well, of course, she's right. Honestly, this book reiterates the stance that I've made that there needs to be a balance in writing and artwork. If one is off balance, it ruins the other. And Freya's fantastic rant again just reiterates that the artwork was so off that we have no idea what the hell's going on.
I can cope with bad art if the story makes sense.
Yeah,
if the story's batshit crazy, pardon the word "bat" in here, then no amount of pretty pictures are going to save it.
Like, what was this written in the psych ward of Arkham Asylum? I mean,
let's be a little bit, on the fence with this.
I'm trying.
Nobody has read the first two issues. So
okay,
so we are
here's
behind
the problem, though.
We are behind the curve on this.
Okay, I'll give you that. The problem, though, is most Black Manta stories that we've read up to this point have not been intriguing enough. Even in the fact that we're getting again another Aquaman movie next year, Black Manta is in it again. We're going to see more.
Also, this is the third issue? What issue?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if this is the third issue, they've done, the story is going at like walking through the swamp of sadness pace because there is nothing going on. If this is the third issue of 6, we should kind of be at the climax at this point.
Well, middle ground. We should have had the first arc that kind of sets the scene. We're now in the middle arc that puts everyone in danger, and then the final arc is the conclusion.
Yeah, but nothing's happened. Not even in this book, nothing's happened.
Hey,
their pacing sucks once again. Like, come on,
and this
guys.
is a prelude to Aquaman. Like, if this is a prelude to that, I don't even know if I want to even look at Aquaman, because if this is the taste that you're trying to get us excited about this book, this was not the way to do it.
I've got to be honest. I mean, if we're a little bit honest with ourselves, we know that we don't particularly like Aquaman to a great deal. Freya and I, we've talked about it loads of times, and I think Josh, you've been in that conversation as well, how Aquaman would be better served in a kind of Game of Thrones type of style.
Yes.
Yeah, like something a little bit more mature. I don't think Aquaman works as a superhero idea. I absolutely, totally don't. And this is, in fact, it could be, because the water then becomes non-negotiable. It kind of turns out, all right, so he can swim underwater, but then he doesn't do anything different as if he wasn't in water. It's like when Daredevil in over at Migraine, people talk about his super radar sense. So it's like, so he can just see. So you might as well just turn around and say he can see, because there's no difference, So I'm going to stand a little bit for this book because everyone else hates it. We don't know. We haven't read the first 2 books, so we are behind the curve, as I said. The art, it is a stylistic view that they're going for. I personally don't like it. It seems like a knockoff Mike Mignola. And if that's what they're trying to do, well, then they need to add some more colours. Freya's bang on right. There's too many characters of green against a green background.
Yeah.
And you're like, come on. You try and make the characters pop against what they're supposed to be. I get that the environment's the environment, and it's supposed to have an impact, especially for an underwater book like Manta, but you still got to put the effort in. Would this book make me want to buy the rest of the series and go and find out what happened in the first 2? Hell no. Are you crazy? This is a god-awful book. I looked at this cover. There is only one cover that is worse than this one.
Oh,
Oh yes.
do you
Oh,
have
yes.
it so I can see it, or should I look
Well,
for it?
we're going to talk about it in a little bit.
Okay.
But it's I don't know. It's a hard sell. It's a hard sell for me to get excited about a Manta book when it's a character that I don't like.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So if you're trying to get me to look into a book that I don't like, you better be pulling your A game plus to get me to buy into it. I remember when Stefan Seach was on Aquaman and we loved it. We
Yeah.
loved how majestic it looked, great colors because he's a painter as well as an artist. And then it went back to sort of like standard superhero stuff. So, you know, if the character's not working for you, your creative team has to be. Unfortunately, with Manta, you're stuck with a naff character and a creative team that just doesn't know. They're like fish out of water. And on that note, all right, guys, I have said the magic M word, migraine. So I think now would be a nice time to roll our brand new No Prize podcast advert. The professor will be doing another happy dance when he sees this, I'm sure. Josh?
Here it is.
That's right. For everything that's Marvel related, including Disney Plus, check out the Professor and Lucas, the PowerPoint man, as they run through the comings and goings of the Marvel universe. There you go. There you go. It's on alternative weeks to us. Go check it out. Not now because you've got this to watch. Then OTP. Then you can go watch MPP. Got it?
Yep.
I'm running out of letters. All right. Next up. 10 out of 18. We're about to come across one eventually. My shout. I don't know if I picked this. I have no idea. But Batman Urban Legends #9. So, you know how you should judge a book by the cover? Look at this. I'm not a big Duke fan, and I'm certainly not an Azrael fan. So, God knows why I picked it. I have no idea. So, there's several stories in here. We'll run through them and see what we think. The Batwoman one is the second part of Disinformation Campaign, as part of the Fear State storyline. It's written by Alessa Wong, art by Vasco Dev. Apologies if I said that wrong. Colors by Rain Burrito and letters by Becca Carey, who I believe, Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Becca Carey spent a lot of time on the indie books, didn't she? Was it Pure Dynamite, something like that? So I thought the Batwoman story, I thought it was canny, it was all right. It seems to me DC have two stories when it comes to Batwoman. One, let's talk about my girlfriends. Two, let's talk about my sister, and that's all she's got.
Yeah.
Especially as Alice is such a player in the TV show, which I think is an absolutely terrible TV show. I can't believe how bad Batwoman the show is for me. Just hands down. Hands down. Do you watch it?
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying really with the fact that you thought it would actually be good.
Well, yeah, I had high hopes. So the art's a little bit elongated and stretchy in places. I don't mind that so much. There's a panel where Batwoman jumps in through the traditional, there it is, window. I looked at this and I thought Freya's going to have kittens when she sees this one because those legs and hip placements look totally off the chart in a bad way. Yeah, it was all right first time around. Josh, what do you think of the Batwoman story?
It was better than Black Manta. The colors were better.
Colors were better.
The art was better.
You could read the letters.
Aside from
exactly.
aside from Batwoman, dislocating both of her hips as she jumps through, and then obviously pops them back into socket when she lands.
I quite like that pick. If you go back to
This
the
one?
spread, I quite like the whole Alice getting lost through the looking glass.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I thought this was a very unique
Yeah.
splash page. I enjoyed this again.
Until you look at it a little too closely within the
Well,
panels.
we
Well,
don't
yeah.
we don't
Which is what I do.
Yeah, that's what you're here for, Freya.
Yep.
Tell us the error of our ways, Freya.
not like we already had that the last book.
I wouldn't even care. That's her book. That's all I'm going to keep saying.
True.
We should have a T-shirt that should say something like "I hate this book," and then underneath, "I picked this."
I can't stand this book. Hashtag
TDC
my
badge in the
pick.
corner there.
You know, I should ask for some rights to my my shirt
Catchphrases.
catchphrases. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what was
like
it?
the
What was,
colors
like,
are nice.
The
Our
colors are nice.
Yeah.
What was the headlight tits or something like
Yeah.
that?
Yes. Classics. Oh, Freya, we love you so much. We love you so much. All right, Freya. Josh has opened the door. So tell us what's wrong with these splash pages.
Oh, I was gonna wait until he was done with his review.
I mean,
okay.
it's Batwoman. Johnny hit it right on the head. There's two facets of Batwoman: her girlfriend and her sister.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's like the start of a bad joke, isn't it? My girlfriend and my sister walked into a bar.
Oh, jeez. Oh, God.
What happened? We got a Batwoman story.
Uh-huh.
So, Freya, take it away.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. With that page that we currently have, what to point
Just
out
remember,
first?
there's another 4 stories in this book.
I know. That's why I'm like, okay. So the panel where she's sitting down having ice cream with, I believe that's Kate.
Uh-huh.
Can't really freaking tell. Oh no, it's in that page. It's,
okay.
This little,
Here,
it's the glass right there near her foot, right by her foot. Like everyone's got penguin fingers. Everyone's got penguin fingers.
Oh, this one.
You want to see my flip a trick?
It's just, oh god. And then it's just the one below that with Batwoman kicking in the air, which
Oh shoot. Hold on. There we go.
yeah. First of all, that's not how that kick would work. Because if she's moving,
Oh my god.
damn it, Josh.
Trying to. Oh, good hell.
No. Okay. 'Cause if she's doing a jump kick, then her leg would not be parallel to the man she's kicking. And if she was kicking him from upwards, then she needs to have her foot down on the ground so she can push her foot upwards. You can't do a flying upwards angled kick like that. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. Because if you're moving forward with the momentum, you'd have to kick them forward. But if you're moving, it just doesn't work. Okay.
So she bounced off of number 42, which is an outside linebacker, to get over number 32, which is the corner.
And of course, they held onto the ball a bit on the play action, and before you know it's booyah, foot in the air, and someone's getting.
Wait. When did Cyborg end up in this story?
Freaking football crap. Anyway, back on. I like Batwoman as a character, but they can't seem to freaking. It's annoying because I'm like, okay, cool, she's a lesbian, great, but she's so much more than that, and it really frustrates me when they just focus on that. I'm like, okay, we know this. Can she be, as awesome as Batman? Because we know she's awesome as Batman. So let her be as awesome as Batman. Do you
remember how good Batwoman was in the Detective Comics room where there was like a superhero? There was a bat team, wasn't there?
Yeah,
and she was like
great.
a de facto field general. What a great version of Batwoman that was.
Yeah, it was. And then also, I don't know why all of a sudden she has an anti-killing viewpoint all of a sudden in this particular story. Because I always thought, she was the one who got yelled at by Batman for killing someone. So
And she used to carry guns, didn't she?
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, I guess she's going the pacifistic kind of route, which you kind of can't be a pacifist if you're beating people. But, it's just, I'm sick of seeing her sister. His sister is like the most boring freaking villain ever. I'd rather see like Mr. Pig or whatever his name is, and all
Professor
that.
Pig.
Yeah. I'd rather see him and some other stuff because Alice is freaking boring. Now, if we mix some Mad Hatter in, maybe, Mad Hatter and all of them, but Alice herself is just freaking boring. It's like the dollar store Party City Joker version that we get. Like she was mixed with Harley Quinn, and she just kind of sucks. So
the problem you've got is expectations, because when Batwoman was in Detective Comics, when Bruce Wayne was missing, and you had the Elegy storyline by J.H. Williams, I think it was, and it was like the really lovely, like kind of like spiritual painted style, and Alice was the bad guy, and it was genuinely very intriguing. It was a different kind of take. It was a mature look of a superhero, and then when New 52 started, it retracted, and then of course after that there was Rebirth, and she retracted even more. So you get this idea that Batwoman shouldn't be a straight up superhero. She is more ethereal than that. She's more super elemental, if you want to say that. She has that mature vibe where you can do stuff with her. We've got Batman, we've got the Batgirls, we've got Oracle, we've got Night. We don't need another Cape and Cowl in Gotham. What we need is something different. Batwoman isn't different, and I absolutely adore the fact she's a lesbian, but she's not defined by being a lesbian. She's her own person, and so come on, DC. Give us something a little bit more serious than just candy cotton stuff for a great character.
Yeah, and I actually like this panel that Josh stopped on, where she's looking at herself through the glass and she's reaching through. I really like that. I think it's beautiful with all the color, the coloration and the reflective. It looks beautiful. I think.
There are some clever touches in the writing, definitely.
And that too. And along with what you were saying, and I even brought this up during the whole Batwoman run, and I was like, could you imagine if they treated Batman this way, and every comic or every issue he has a flashback, or it's about one of his past loves or something, and he goes, oh, I remember the time Batgirl or Catwoman and I banged on this rooftop, and it was a flashback to I'm like, we would never get anything done, because it's just, and they even cut out the action parts with that, just to have the little flashbacks to her in bed with her girlfriend. And I'm like, it kind of feels like they fetishize her and her being a lesbian, and it kind of I don't know, it because I it's just, it bothers me.
I get where you're coming from. It's a little bit pandering, isn't it? So the idea is, if we have a lesbian character, we must show them in bed with a woman, because that's what the fanboys want. It's not
the thing.
Being your gender and your sexuality. You know what? You are who you are. You love who you love.
Yeah.
Love the person you're with, and that's it. That's as pretty much as liberal as I get, and I'm the most liberal person I know. That is as simple as that. Love the person you're with.
Yeah, and it's just,
everything else doesn't matter.
Like you said, it feels like they're pandering, but they're not pandering to the LGBTQ community. They're pandering to people who watch lesbian porn, and they're dudes, because that's what they're into. They're like, oh yeah, great, a girl's making out with another girl that's hot, that sort of thing. And I'm like, and that's, I think, why it bothers me so much, is because I'm like, the guys who have that as a fetish, it's more like pandering to them. Sorry, I have,
No, I get it, and I suppose whatever. Not to insult not to sort of jump on any sort of bandwagon, I guess. What you like is what you like, and but it doesn't have to be catered to in every single comic book. Character. Cool.
Anyway, continuing on, let's go to the next story. Sorry.
So next up is Tweedledee and Tweedledum, written by Sam Johns, who you may remember from being on, if I'm correct, wasn't he on Green Lanterns? Is that the same book? Sam Chance? Carl Morset or Mostert even as artist. Colors by Dave Barron. Letters by Tom Napolitano. I've got to say, when I started looking through this book, this story, I was like, oh, really? Are you kidding me? By the end, wow, what a fantastic story. I absolutely, it broke my heart this little bit. I absolutely totally relate to what he's going through. I was absolutely blown away by how mature the story, like the nuances within the story are. Hands down, the best part of this book is the Tweedledee and Tweedledum story.
Yeah.
Best.
Yeah.
And I think when you see how good DC can be with this type of story, it just makes it laughable that the next one's up Azrael, which is just a pile of pap compared. DC can do this well, this serious, this emotional with Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Man, this is what we want. This is what books we want. So basically, the story goes: one of the Tweedle brothers is ill. The other Tweedle's trying to get some meds for him, and there's a massive repercussion at the end. Josh,
I'm right there with you. I thought out of the entire book, this was the one that had me hooked from the very beginning to the end. I'm going to make a 90s reference. Remember back in the day when you'd buy a CD for just one song and you had to have whole album of shit?
I still do that.
That's how this book is. This story was the one story out of the entire book that kept me hooked. I thought the artwork was fantastic. I felt bad for Tweedledee and Tweedledum. It was, as you said, it was heartbreaking. And it's been a while since a DC book has done that to me. I get that more from Indy than anything else. So if anything, this story is the one worth picking up the book for.
Yeah, and that's an interesting little aside there. My local comic book shop, one of them, I've told them that I want all the Fear State issues. So if my local comic shop has put this in my pile to pick up, even though I don't normally buy Urban Legends, I'll buy it for this story.
Yeah.
Even if it's overpriced because it's a bigger size book. Freya, thoughts on Tweedledum, Tweedledee?
So I liked it. I like the art. I agree. The story kind of had me messed up a little bit. There were a few things I would nitpick about it. Well, honestly, you live in Gotham City. I don't, fault the meter maid for being a meter maid. I mean, they get shit on all the time. So, when you're in a job where people shit on you all the time, you get that kind of personality where you're like, I'm not gonna put up with any crap because people pull this all the time. And meters just suck. I hate them. I hate one of the reasons why I hate big cities. Also the medical stuff. I'm like, I understand I understand the physician, I understand his thing, but she's like, you can get over the counter stuff, but I can't just give you like prescription meds, man. Like, so I understand her position. I understand his too. I was like, if you're trying to make her look like a bad person, she's doing her job. Like, she can't just give prescriptions to whoever just because they have money. That's you can't do that.
I think that's the heartbreaking element of it, is the fact that if you look at from both angles, there's no wrong decision here.
The one person I will say, I was like, I've actually never encountered this in my entire life, and I don't know anyone who has, but maybe that's because I don't live in a douchebag giant big city. Where the nurse was, I actually think it's against the law in where I'm from, is denying him health care at the urgent care.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's illegal where I'm from. I'm pretty sure even if you don't have ID, they still treat you like if you're in a car wreck and they can't find your ID, they're not going to leave you on the street just because they can't find your ID. They figure all that crap afterwards. And I have been treated without insurance before, so I know that's a load of crap too. But then again, I stay out of big metropolis cities, so maybe they just do things differently there.
That's actually a federal thing in the States, that they cannot refuse medical attention. And in this scenario where Tweedledee is clearly
Sick,
in a lot of pain and having issues, they should have treated him.
Yeah. And that's why I'm like, that whole thing, that I was like, okay, that kind of took me out a little bit, because like I said, I thought that, and like Josh just said, it's illegal in the States to do that. Even if you don't have ID or anything, they still have to treat you. Even if you can't pay, they still have to treat you. So, and I've had that happen too, where I couldn't pay, but they're like, you know what? You're still going to get medical care, and we'll get you some forms to sign and whatnot. We'll figure that out. Because I had no money. I was pretty much homeless at that point. Random facts about Freya. Anyway,
so just to clarify a couple of points before Freya carries on. I misspoke. The Green Lantern writer was Sam Humphries.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, but this story, I'm, go be like, okay, this is Gotham City. It's a shithole, and it's not reality. So, I was like, okay, so, and it was really sad when Dee dies at the end, and I agree. This is the best story in this entire issue. It really did. I don't know. Even though these guys were criminals, it's still really sad. Yeah. And I knew something. I was like, what the crap's up? Because he like shit himself while sitting on the couch and stuff. And I was like, it's so sad, because even March Hare is like, nope, I'm out. You're on your own,
Yeah.
It's like, that's actually kind of very, it's heartbreaking. And I like that. I'm not even to nitpick the art, because I like the story so much. So
cool, there you go. Next up is probably one of my least favorite characters in the Bat universe. It's Azrael. So this is written by Dan Waters or Nicola. You're killing me. Cismezula. I'm going with that. Ivan Placencia is the colors, and Ariana May is on letters. Anyone have anything to say about Azrael other than why are we still getting Azrael stories?
Why are we still getting Azrael stories?
Why are we still getting that? That's the question.
Do people like Azrael? I really don't. I mean,
last time he was in Justice League Odyssey.
He wasn't too bad, but
I don't know. No, and then finally, I'm glad that we talked about that so well. Woo-hoo. Finally is Outsiders, written by Brandon Thomas, pencils by Cian Tormey, inks by Raul Fernandez, colors by Alejandro Sanchez, and letters by Steve Wands. A couple of things to note on this one, which I thought were really clever. I love that the street name they're going for is Breyfogle and Lyle, which is a nod to Norm Breyfogle and Tom Lyle, who were both past DC artists on Batman. Tom Lyle's worked on other books for Marvel as well, who passed away. Story-wise, it's a time travel thing, so don't put too much stock into it because it would make your nose bleed. I will say this, though. Katana in the present day looks super hot. What can I say? Anyone have anything to say about Outsiders?
I liked the artwork. I especially like the part where it goes blue and black. I liked that a lot. And yeah, I don't know. I like the design for Clown Hunter. Don't really see him very much, I don't think. Well, I haven't.
That's because we avoid him like the plague.
Yeah.
When was the last time we actually reviewed the Batman book? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I like the kid's design. I do. It kind of reminds me of like 80s punk rocker kind of style going on. I like that.
Look how hot Katana looks there.
And yes, Katana's very attractive. We will agree to that. Yes.
Hold on.
Yeah. I like it, Tana. But yeah, it was all right, story wise.
Funny, and I suppose, Josh, if I may jump in quickly,
Go for it.
it's a difference, isn't it? We don't look at urban legends that much. I think we looked at number 6 because of the whole Tim Drake thing.
Yeah.
But there are several stories in this book that are continuation of previous stories. At no point did I feel particularly lost as much as I did when I read Black Manta. So,
Yeah.
Right.
so there's a way you can catch a part 2 and not have to worry about the previous chapters.
Yeah.
Josh, what do you think of Outsiders?
I like the artwork on this one. I mean, it's the Outsiders. At this point, nothing surprises me anymore. I'm with Freya. I like Clown Hunter's design. Reminds me of, I don't know if you guys ever played the game Gotham Imposters.
Yeah.
Nope.
So it was.
I haven't played it, but it's based on the story.
It was like Call of Duty meets
Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah.
You could mash up your characters to have different things. So you could have
the character I had actually had a very much of a resemblance of Bobo, which was great. Because I absolutely demolished the other team with it. It was awesome. And for that, after you watch this episode and OTP and No Prize, make sure to check out Crisis in the Toyverse.
Definitely.
But it's an outsider story. I did like Katana. I'm with Johnny. She's looking good. And I did like the design style for the negative space. We'll call it that.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was pretty slick.
It's funny how much effort goes into the anthology when you think it's like broken into little segments and stuff.
Yeah.
You kind of think we might get shortchanged on the quality. It just makes me then ask the question: if you get such great quality for this Outsiders book, or this Outsiders storyline, which we can all agree the Outsiders aren't probably our favorite group within DC Universe, how the quality on this is so good, and yet I don't want to harken back to it, but Black Manta is just so bad.
Again, I think it falls upon, DC's letting these artists kind of have that creative freedom on how they want to draw their books.
But it fits into what I was saying. You've got, if you want me to get interested in characters that I don't care about, put the effort in. Look at the effort in this Outsiders book.
Yeah. I'd be curious for people who watch or listen, let us know, like, are you a Black Manta fan? I'm genuinely curious if there are hardcore Black Manta fans.
Right. This is a great question. And for everybody that contributes, whether it's through our Twitter feed, Josh, do you want to run the Twitter feeds across the page for us?
Yep.
There you go. If you want to contribute to any of us on Twitter, telling us you're a Black Manta fan, we're not going to name and shame you. Don't worry about it. But
speak for yourself. No, joking. I'm joking.
I am sure that looking through my collection, I may be able to find a freebie to throw your way and pick someone at random.
And I would even go as far as saying, if you are a Black Manta fan, what's your favorite story? What is it about Black Manta that makes them your favorite? That's the part that I want to.
That's a good show.
That's what I want to know, is what story is it that made you really like Black Manta? Because what we've been receiving lately has not done anything.
So just a quick caveat on that then. You cannot say Young Justice cartoon. All right.
Oh yeah,
we all know the Young Justice cartoon, apart from season 3, is a bit ropey in places. But we all know season 1 and season 2
Yeah. Also, if
Tip-top.
you cosplay as Black Mana, send it my way because I love
Ooh.
cosplay. So
Yes, absolutely.
I love seeing cosplay, and that's why going to Comic Con so hard, because the cosplay etiquette is so much different than anime conventions, because people freaking get in the photos. Like, come on. I want a picture of the cosplayer, not you and your little child. I want a picture of this person's cosplay. Get out of the picture.
So we don't have time to go through our last book, thank God. What I will say is it was my birthday not so long ago. And
Oh, happy birthday.
thank you. I was, I can't say the age, but let's just say that I get a free pass in Hawaii.
Oh, 65?
No, like there's a TV show called Hawaii 65, you numbnuts. Swear to God. So anyhow, the guys from work clubbed together and they got me this. It's not on the wall yet. So there you go. Check this bad boy out.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
there you
cool,
go.
man.
That's
So there you go. Check that out. It's the Ed Baines Justice League. What I liked a lot about this is that if you check out the little bits here, you can see previous Justice League iterations.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I see them.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, man.
So you get to see so that's going up on the wall shortly. So thanks
so
to
cool.
everyone who I work with who chipped in for that. There you go.
well
That's
done.
cool.
Cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah, really liked it. I really liked it a lot. And I also got it's downstairs, so I can't show you, I'm afraid. Unless where is the box for it? I'm just trying to see it. If I can see it, I'll show you it. Yep, is that the Wonder Woman one? Yeah, I can't see the box, but I've got the Zatanna bombshell statue.
Oh, that's really cool. I always wanted to get the Batwoman one because she's in the
Baseball.
or get a statue of it, her outfit, because she was in the old school 19 that was cool.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, I like the bombshell outfits for everyone. They're really cool.
So that was off Mrs. H. So
oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, cool. So there you go. I was spoiled massively. There you go. Yeah, I like the bombshells.
You deserve it.
It's really cool stuff.
Yeah, I have a bombshell Wonder Woman Christmas statue that comes out Christmas time. So
oh, you do?
That'll be cool.
But,
I'm jealous.
I'll show that next time. It's I can see the box, but I can't get at it right now. So
just do this. For everyone watching and listening, head over to Twitter. Johnny will put those up on his Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. I'll put them up there.
Awesome.
You can have a look at those. Right, there you go. We're done for another episode, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Josh.
Always fun. Always fun.
Sorry to drop some football on you, Freya. I tried not to because the Dolphins aren't playing this weekend. We've already beat the Baltimore Ravens. That's right.
It is what it is. Just makes me glad that we're not going to be recording during Thanksgiving because freaking turkey bowl and whatever crap.
And on that note, all right, don't forget to check out all the UCPN shows, including, we've already seen the advert, the No Price Podcast. From here, you will be checking out Outside the Panels to listen to the Jeffrey Wright interview. Josh?
Oh, we've got the Jank Think Tank, where Matthew and I tag team and talk about all things Magic the Gathering. We got the new set, Crimson Vow, that just came out. So all things vampires right now, it's a good time.
Cool. Excellent. And Freya, did you accept your mission to find a book for Matthew?
I will wait until more books come out.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent, Smithers.
Because
Release the
Excellent.
All right, guys, that's it. We're done for another show. I am your host, Johnny the Machine Hughes. Once again, thanks, guys, and adios.
Bye.